swings like a pendulum do. Bobby's on bicycles 2x2. Westminster Abbey, the Tower of Big Ben, the rosy red cheeks of the little children.
Ah, good old Blighty. I don't even know what that means, but we love the English. You can smell the rock and roll heritage on every street corner. When a kingdom becomes united, it becomes united in the name of rock and roll. Amen. Since I ain't no motherfucking vampire bat, however, no time to hang around in London, I'm gonna head straight up to the Midlands, the spiritual home of British metal, via a cheeky stop-off at a pivotal place in the story of the heavy sound. Milton Keynes, motherfuckers! Wait a minute, this isn't fucking Milton Keynes. Oh my God, what the fuck is that?
In the fields the bodies burning, as the war machine keeps turning. Death and hatred to mankind, poisoning their brainwashed minds. Oh Lord, yeah.
Coming through. Boom. So, what is it about this place? Why the Milton Keynes? Well, rock and roll kicked off in a major way in the United Kingdom in the 60s, and a new generation wanted to play loud. I'm here right now to find out how one man made it all happen. We're at the Marshall Factory, where from the time I was a little boy in Greenville, South Carolina, I would dream about the day that I might get to play one, let alone, maybe own one. And we're gonna go learn about the source of loud amplification, the monster sound that would make the metal heavy and allow Black Sabbath to come forth and announce themselves to the world. Do you think it's fair to say that the heavy and the metal may have found a place to meet inside the Marshall?
Yeah, I think so. And anybody who has anything to do with rock music would say that from '62 onwards, it was never the same again. The way the story goes, that people like Hendrix, Pete Townsend were sat in there moaning. They couldn't get the sound they wanted out of the amplifiers that were available at the time. So Jim was in the right place at the right time. You find that the people who do come in here, your so-called famous rock stars, they're all really grateful to come here and to see Jim. Some people called him Dad.
Oh, right.
Because of the way he would treat people and the way he tried to make sure that everybody was happy.
That's beautiful. What's the most interesting person that's coming?
Angus Young from AC/DC came in. 4 stacks, making these things feed back. We got complaints from the company across the road that we're making too much noise. We're a rock company. It's the middle of the day. What do you expect?
I love it. Well, I come in through your window, I see your family there. Well, I'm the midnight creeper, when I go creeping, y'all better beware.
It's sort of weird, I grew up with Dad being Jim Marshall. We'd go out for a meal and there'd be someone famous with us. Right. And it's just the way it was. Got to look back to when Dad started the company. And, he's got people like Pete Townsend, Eric Clapton, Ronnie Wood, hanging around the store. First things they're buying off Dad.
Wow.
That's just going to be a cool time. Mitch Mitchell, when Dad, taught him to play the drums, Mitch Mitchell used to work in the shop. So when Ches Chandler got the Hendrix experience together, and Hendrix was plugged into Clapton's Marshalls, I think it was, and he said to Ches Chandler, I've got to get hold of some of his Marshalls. So Mitch Mitchell said, well, that's easy, it's my boss. He introduced Dad to Jimi Hendrix.
Wow. We're all pink on the inside. And this just proves it. Not pinko communist style, I mean real red-blooded pink. There's so much history and love for rock and roll in that place, it's enough to make little old Boots Electric shed a tiny little old metal tear. Of course, the metal would be solid gold, amen. I need to fix myself up, though, as we'll be headed for Birmingham. And my first stop is to meet the dudes that Bill Ward was talking about. Talking about the massively underrated original Brummie metlers, quartz. So time to go mining for quartz now, folks.
That wife of yours, a sweet young thing. When I leave, your wife will be dead.
All right, we just got to the studio where Quartz is waiting. These guys are the real deal, so I want you to get ready for the heavy. Is it fair to say that heavy metal started in Birmingham?
I think so, yeah. A lot of it was a reference to Birmingham being an industrial city.
Right.
But there were like negatives, because Sabbath got slated when they first started. From the drudge town where it's all steel and smoke and dust. And they had this very metallic sound in the early days, because they used to use these metal cone speakers. We started slightly before them. And we started, I think, trying to be heavy too soon. But then we went on tour with Black Sabbath.
We had the pleasure and the honour to do the British tour with Black Sabbath. We feel exactly the same. And from that tour, we gained a record producer, Tony Army, the lead guitarist, and we knocked out the way the albums turned out. It comes out on Jet Records.
When we went in the studio, I mean, he played a few solos and he taught us a lot. We knew how to play on stage, but in the studio, it's a different environment. From then on, it was just, you know, that was it.
I keep on writing you to say goodbye to me. I get out to get a cage. Keep on running, but it's not so funny. 'Cause will they find you? Be nowhere. Wanted, you got it, all a lot of trouble. Quit fighting, lay down. You want it, you got it, all a lot of trouble. Quit fighting, lay down.
Now, you played with Black Sabbath, and what led to that?
We were touring like with Quartz and stuff, and he just phoned me up one day and said, "Look, Ozzy's left the band. Geezer's kind of, you know, gone off. Would you come over and help us out to write some songs? We've got this new singer, Ronnie D out." And I only went for 2 weeks. I ended up staying for 23 years. I was going to show you this as well. That was my first gig at the LA Coliseum.
No way. Dude, I would have shit myself.
They always used to play practical jokes on one another. Ozzy used to wear white tights. But before he went on stage, he always had to go to the toilet. So what they did, they painted the toilet seats black. He's about to go on, they go, "Ozzy, you have to go on." Oh no! So he's gone up, and as he's gone on stage, he's got a big black mark at the back of his head.
Ozzy used to shout out, "What do you want to wear?" And everybody shouts "Paranoid." And he turns around and he says, "There's some bastard down there, he's shouting Quartz."
Ooh, end of day one in the United Kingdom. But there's much, much more I need to discover in the Midlands. Tomorrow, I'm hooking up with 3 guys who I'm led to believe know more about Black Sabbath than even Black Sabbath themselves may know. Gonna put them to the test. Yes, sir, Boots Electric. Amen.